First up, that breaking news we've been following all afternoon. A Thunderbird jet crashes on the southeast side of Colorado Springs near the airport. It happened right after the Air Force graduation ceremony at the Academy today. The pilot was able to eject and is okay. He was able to maneuver that F-16 Fighting Falcon away from homes in that area and into that field. As a result, there were no injuries on the ground. The pilot is Major Alex Turner. He has logged more than 1,200 flight hours and 270 combat hours in Libya and Iraq. That crash happened near Fontaine and South Powers. That area right now still closed to traffic as the Air Force investigates this crash. That is also where we join KRDO News Channel 13's Bart Bedsole live with the latest on this crash. Bart?
Hey, good evening, James. Here's what's happening right now. A hazardous materials team from Peterson Air Force Base just finished suiting up. They are just on the other side of those blue vehicles there, preparing to approach the crash site. The concern, the reason they're suiting up, is the possible presence of leaking jet fuel as well as a chemical called hydrazine. It's more like a backup fuel, and it can be very volatile. Initially, authorities issued a warning to area property owners because of those chemicals that could be leaking from the jet. That advisory has since been lifted. Now, as we take a live look at the jet right now at this hour, you can see it is remarkably intact. The nose is buckled a bit, but this was not a fireball type crash as some might have envisioned, and much of that is due to the skill of the pilot. We're told that Alex Turner realized there was a mechanical problem. He steered the F-16 to a remote area. He ejected and then let his jet come to rest on its own in this field south of the airport. We spoke with the Thunderbird's commander a short time ago. He said that although Alex Turner has hundreds of flight hours logged, he is relatively new to the squadron.
This is his first show season. He's already conducted or been a part of 22 shows this year, and he joined the team back in October 2015.
Again, the pilot was checked out. He is doing fine this evening. He even got a visit from the president at Peterson Air Force Base before the president departed Colorado Springs on Air Force One after speaking at the Air Force Academy graduation. One more quick traffic note, as we mentioned before, power is entirely shut down north of Fontaine here. In fact, part of Fontaine is shut down as well. It'll likely remain that way for at least this evening and possibly longer, depending on the complexity of the investigation. Live at Powers and Fontaine, Bart Bedsole, KRDO News Channel 13.
Thanks so much, Bart. We also talked with a crash witness on the phone earlier this afternoon. Diana was watching the jets while they were landing when that accident happened. Here's what she had to say.
They went around the airport and they came back around one at a time, and I thought, okay, they're burning off fuel and they're landing now. And so I watched them one by one, and the last plane swung way out further than the other ones, and then all of a sudden I saw a flame shoot up from the top of the plane, and then I saw a parachute, and I go, oh my gosh, the pilot just ejected. And then when he ejected, I saw the plane just go down real fast. And there's a big open field in between me and the airport, and I expected to hear this big crash and expected to see a big fireball, but I didn't see that, and I'm going, okay, what just happened?
And good thing we didn't see that. A lot of that credited to the pilot, who again able to maneuver that jet away from the homes in that area and landed in a skidding fashion. As you saw, you could see the trail in the aerial photos. Looks like several hundred yards the plane may have skidded. Our own Heather Skold recently flew with the Thunderbirds in a special story that aired this week on KRDO News Channel 13. We spoke with her about the news of today's crash.
My heart dropped. It really does put a flight experience like that into perspective. Certainly opening my eyes to the absolute hazards that come with, or that are inherent with flying a machine like that.
And as we reported, the pilot of that jet, Major Alex Turner, not seriously injured. In fact, the president met with him and shook his hand before taking off from the Colorado Springs airport. You see it right there. President Obama also thanked emergency crew members who rushed to that scene to help out. And crashes involving the Thunderbirds have happened in the past. The first deadly accident happened in 1972 when Major Joe Howard crashed an F-4 Phantom at the Dulles Airport in Washington, D.C. More recently, in 2013, a pilot crashed at an air show in Idaho but was able to eject and survived. In 2005, the Thunderbirds grounded themselves in Chicago after a mid-air incident. Luckily, no one was hurt in that accident. And another